Okay, I just had a really interesting experience with a removal session, or wasn't really a removal. I was actually working on an elderly lady, making sure that she was going to leave if she dies before we start going through the doorway, if she has, so that she doesn't have to reincarnate. If she dies before that, she doesn't have to reincarnate, come back in. But anyway, as I was going after her soul in a soul rescue, I found her. She was underground and she was in this bright gold light. And when I say gold, I don't mean like golden, or I mean gold, the color of like jewelry, this gold light, but it felt physical. And I was like, this is interesting. And she was immersed there, and they were blocking her soul from waking up or accessing any information or being able to hear or see the truth or anything. It was just like this stasis or this, I don't know what, but in this gold light. And I was hearing that a, it was the reptilians that had her there, and I saw an image of Thoth or whatever that idiot's name is, Thoth, with the bird head or the whatever head. I saw him, and then I was being told. So when I pulled her soul out, I was like, let me get rid of this gold light. It's still all over you. It's like, what's going on? And I'm trying to bring in light from the real and spirit. And the gold was part of her, and they were mining, no, excuse me, mining her gold. So that gold light was actually her spirit essence becoming physical, and they were mining that. Let me see if there's any other details I need to remember here and impart. And it made me think of how supposedly the Anunnaki are down in Africa mining all the gold here. And I'm thinking, and they had those subhumans, or did they create Adam and Eve's? Is that when I didn't read Stitchen's books. So, um, but anyway, they were mining for gold and blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking they were mining us. They were mining our gold, our spirit. And the black Africans, the black race, who I think has like superior, I don't know if this is correct, but I think they have superior abilities and stuff. It's like they always want to target them or weaken them or something. And somebody somewhere said that the white race is the most hybridized. Now, I don't know if any of that's true, but I feel like they were in Africa, we're the gold, because a few of us lately have gotten something about gold being in us. We have gold codes. Do we have gold in our blood? I don't know. We have gold in our DNA, but it feels like our spirit, when it comes through us, actually manifests into some kind of physical substance. So let me go a little further with this. Um, so I don't think it was an accident that I married a guy who was studying alchemy. Him and a couple buddies had all these old books from this Paracelsus Institute, and which is now gone. And these are really old books. And so they're studying alchemy. They're doing all this stuff. They're determined they're gonna learn all the tricks of it and blah, blah, blah. So I'm not paying attention because I'm not really interested. I'm not into science, never was. And so I'm just kind of listening. And it was all based on astrology and seasons and this type of thing. And I don't know what he's talking about to me half the time because I'm not reading the books, and I'm just half listening because I'm busy working to support him and his pothead friends. Well, all they did was sit around and smoke pot and barely get anything done. They were late and or sleeping half the day away. And so they didn't get very far with their alchemy. But I was there for a reason, because what I remember is that I've talked about this part before where you make oil of egg. And oil of egg is supposed to be a substance in alchemy that is either reverses aging or is anti-aging or something. I think it's some kind of cream. I'm remembering like this is the 90s, so I'm trying to remember here. And this is like a one-time listen. But anyway, you collect the eggs from chickens, the eggs that are hatched closest, the eggs that are hatched on the full moon closest to the spring equinox. So, whatever full moon comes closest to the spring equinox are the eggs that you gather to make this oil of egg. And hence, you have Easter and the eggs and whatever. So, one of the other things they do is when it's a thunderstorm, you go collect the rainwater because it has electrical properties, and then they do something else with that. I have no idea what. But I remember collecting rainwater with them when there's a thunderstorm. We had to go run outside and then getting up in the morning with him because he wanted to go collect dew for one of their experiments. So you had to collect dew in the morning off the plants. You had to get like a pole, a wooden pole. I think there was specifications with a rag tied to the end of it. You couldn't touch the dew. You had to soak the rag and then squeeze the rag into a glass jar or something. I don't know what they did with that either, but the point of that last story is in alchemy, dew is not from moisture in the air settling on the plants or on the grass, which is what I thought dew was. It's actually the spirit of the plant. It's the essence of the plant coming up and turning into physical form in dew. So they collect the spirit of the plant and it has the live essence and energy of that spirit or that soul of the plant. And then they do whatever with it. This makes me think of what they were doing with her gold. They were mining gold. And when I was finishing up her session, I had another reptilian come at me. And there was like some kind of energy weapon or something they were using on me. But anyway, this looked like a lackey type. It didn't look like Thoth or Toth. And just an ordinary reptilian, but I thought they're mining our gold. We're the gold. Our spirit, our essence turns into some kind of physical gold. That's what I think. That's what I felt like when I was doing it. So the weird thing is I'm telling Irish all this, and I'm thinking, we should talk about this at some point, but I know I'll forget it. I'm telling her, and she brings up something about what's her name? Hang on, let me find her name. Okay, I found it. Marina Abramovic. I kept wanting to say Abramovich, but that wasn't right. Abramovic, the spirit cooker. Okay, so she brings her up, and apparently she was painting somebody with gold leaf. And as soon as she said it, I was like, gold leaf. That is somebody's spirit that she's painting onto somebody else. She's taking somebody's essence and possibly their blood and painting it on somebody. I believe that's what Irish said. I'm probably misquoting because I've got 15,000 things hitting me all at once about this. And I had just done the video, was it yesterday or the day before, about the Dome of the Rock? And it said in all those articles I was pulling up that it was painted in gold leaf paint. So is it the paint of spirits on that thing? They're using us and our energy to fuel that device, that building, or to funnel energy or to do something. Protect, I don't know. Are we in that paint? So anyway, I know this all sounds nuts, but oh well. But let's think about this. We have the spirit, the actual soul or spirit of the plant coming up and taking on a physical form of dew. We have them mining her gold light, her gold essence, energy, spirit, the gold of her spirit. And it was turning into something physical and they were mining it. That's specifically what I got. Okay. We have Abramovic spirit cooking, alchemy. What are they doing with all this? They're doing alchemy. They're doing stuff with our body, our blood, our gold, what's alchemy about? Trying to turn one of the things, lead into gold. But what are they really trying? They're trying to turn something into us, our spirit. They want to be us. So, tell me if I'm reaching here, but that's what all is coming to me. And then Irish was talking about the sin eaters in the Harry Potter series where they were Death Eaters and they eat people's sin after they die or whatever. I didn't look it up, but you can look it up. So I don't know if I'm repeating that back correctly, but that's the idea, sin eaters. And immediately what came to me was sine, SINE. Remember that word came to me, and then I lost the rest of why that word was important. And if you look up sine wave, sine frequency, do I have this pulled up? Well, I just have like a random page I pulled up. I better be recording, that's all I can say. Um, a sine wave represents a single frequency with no harmonics and consider acoustically pure tone. I think this is our tone. Remember, Irish, if you're watching this, when you said we each have our own tone, because I said something related and then you went, oh, yeah, we have our own tone. There was a whole thing to that. So if you listen, comment, they're eating our sine frequency, our wave. We have an astrology sign. We have our own frequency. So they're eating everything, our frequency, our gold essence or spirit, all of it. They're alchemists. I don't know. What do you think?